1241. Mongols reach Vienna. The great Khan dies. History stops. Then he survives. The Khan survives the fever. His vision shifts from conquest to consolidation. He orders the Tumans west. The invasion continues without pause. The Mongol war machine strikes deep into the heart of Europe. The Holy Roman Empire cannot withstand this force. It shatters into dust before it can even recover. The map of Europe is redrawn. A unified empire stretches from the Pacific to the Atlantic. This is the Pax Mongolica, but it arrives centuries early. Peace settles over the Eurasian landmass. Borders are fluid and open for the first time. The Silk Road transforms into a superhighway of trade. Merchants from China travel to Germany without fear. A single integrated economic zone emerges across the continent. Wealth flows like a river. Chinese alchemists share their secrets with European craftsmen. The knowledge of gunpowder spreads rapidly westward. Warfare changes forever in this new timeline. The balance of power shifts globally. Chinese movable type finds its way to the Middle East. The printing press arrives in Europe much earlier. Knowledge becomes accessible to the common people. Literacy rates soar across the empire. The magnetic compass connects the east and the west. Navigation improves drastically across the vast steppes. Travelers can now map the world with precision. Distance becomes a conquered concept. A frozen battlefield in Poland, 2014. The air still smells of blood and ash. The Khan's decree arrives in Venice. The Doge's palace trembles under its weight. The Venetian merchants whisper in the alleys. Their fleets are no longer masters of the sea. The Mongol Tumans march into Prague. The Holy Roman Emperor kneels in the snow. Feudal lords are replaced by merit. A peasant's son now wears the robes of a vizier. The Silk Road is no longer a path of bandits. It is a highway of gold and knowledge. Venetian ships sit idle in their docks. The Genoese watch their fortunes drift away. The Mamluks hold their last stand in Cairo. The Khan's banner waves over the minarets. The Crusades never happen. The Islamic Golden Age shifts eastward. A new bureaucracy rises in Samarkand. Chinese ledgers blend with Persian calligraphy. A Mongol inspector reviews tax records. His pen writes in 3 languages at once. The Venetian Doge's son studies under a Mongol scholar. The old world fades. By the way, if you like this discussion, don't forget to subscribe. There are many more interesting topics coming up. Lightbulb. The Silk Road's toll stations now issue passports. Travelers move freely across continents. The Khan's vision is clear. A world without borders. Only trade. The bubonic plague arrives in 1347. But the Mongol Empire's quarantine stations seal the infected regions immediately. The disease spreads. But it is contained within the steppes rather than consuming Europe. Imperial doctors utilize advanced herbal remedies to suppress the mortality rate significantly. Quarantine protocols become standardized across the Eurasian superstate, creating a unified health infrastructure. Medical texts are translated into multiple languages, ensuring that the plague does not mutate into a global catastrophe. This shared knowledge saves millions of lives that were lost in our timeline. The Renaissance does not begin in Florence. It ignites simultaneously in Samarkand, Baghdad, and Beijing. Classical texts are preserved and digitized across the empire, sparking an intellectual renaissance centuries early. Artists and scientists collaborate across vast distances, unifying the world's creative output. European painters study Persian miniatures while Chinese scholars translate Greek philosophy. This fusion creates a unique aesthetic that dominates the entire hemisphere. Art becomes a universal language rather than a regional dialect. The Eurasian landmass remains the undisputed center of commerce and culture. Caravans move faster and safer than any sailing ship ever could. The sheer scale of the Mongol infrastructure makes maritime travel obsolete for long-distance trade. European nations never invest in expensive naval expeditions to find new trade routes. Why sail around dangerous continents when the Mongol road is faster and safer? The age of discovery is cancelled before it begins. A vast map unfurls across a marble table in a grand hall. Boundaries dissolve into a single, continuous line. A council chamber hums with delegates from every corner. Their voices blend into a chorus of unity. A constitution is etched into stone tablets. Tengrism, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, and shamanism stand as pillars. No more wars over faith. A trans-Eurasian rail network stretches across the land. Merchants and scholars travel freely along steel veins. Scientific academies flourish in every major city. Inventions leapfrog centuries ahead. No more bloodshed over borders or beliefs. The world unites under a single sky. A Mongol engineer and a French philosopher share tea. Their conversation shapes the future of humanity. A world without the scars of war. The camera lingers over a vast, sprawling metropolis where ancient Mongol steppe architecture blends seamlessly with modern skyscrapers. Neon signs in multiple scripts, Mongolian, Arabic, Latin, and Chinese, flicker against the twilight sky. This is Karakoram, New York, a city where empires and eras collide. The narration begins with a whisper, almost lost in the hum of the city. What if the Mongol Empire had never collapsed? The question hangs in the air, unanswered, as the camera pulls back to reveal the entire cityscape. A world where history unfolded differently. The screen fades to black, then slowly dissolves into a close-up of a weathered stone tablet inscribed with ancient Mongol script. The camera zooms in on a single character, revealing a crack running through it, a fracture in time. The voiceover, now deeper and more contemplative, begins. Every empire's rise is met with its own seeds of collapse. The Mongols were no exception. The tablet's inscription hints at the fragility of even the mightiest of structures. The camera pans left to reveal a vast, open steppe where nomadic herders tend to their flocks under a vast, endless sky. The voiceover continues. The Mongols understood unity as strength, but strength without diversity is a fragile thing. The herders, dressed in traditional attire, move in harmony with the land, their voices blending into the wind. The scene underscores the paradox of unity. It can be both a shield and a shackle. A sudden cut to a bustling marketplace where merchants from across the empire haggle over goods. A Mongol trader, a Persian scholar, and a Venetian merchant all speak in rapid-fire exchanges, their languages blending into a cacophony of sound. The voiceover reflects, in this world, the suppression of national identities was not a choice but a necessity. The marketplace thrives on diversity, yet the cost of that unity is the erasure of what made each culture unique. The camera floats gently over a library filled with ancient tomes and scrolls, their pages filled with knowledge from every corner of the known world. A lone scholar, seated at a desk, carefully transcribes a text. The voiceover muses. Without the fragmentation of Europe, where would the Renaissance have begun? The library, a symbol of shared knowledge, also represents the loss of individual creative spark that comes from competition and conflict. The screen fades to black again, then dissolves into a wide shot of a modern city skyline at night, where a Mongol engineer stands on a rooftop, gazing out at the city. Beside him, a French philosopher sips tea, their conversation flowing effortlessly. The voiceover reflects. In this world, the chaos of competition is replaced by a different kind of creativity, one born from collaboration rather than conflict. The engineer and philosopher represent the fusion of diverse minds. Yet the absence of national rivalry stifles the kind of innovation that often comes from rivalry. The camera zooms in on the engineer's hands, meticulously designing a complex machine. His fingers move with precision, the empire's advanced technological integration. The philosopher, meanwhile, scribbles notes in a leather-bound journal, his thoughts flowing freely. The voiceover continues. The Mongol Empire's stability was unparalleled, but at what cost? The engineer's work and the philosopher's musings highlight the empire's achievements, yet they also hint at the stifling nature of a world without the push and pull of competing ideologies. The scene shifts to a battlefield, but this one is eerily quiet. No screams, no chaos, just the stillness of a world where conflicts are resolved through diplomacy and legal frameworks. The voiceover reflects. The Yasa legal code ensured that disputes were settled without bloodshed. The absence of war is palpable. Yet the cost is the suppression of the very human need for struggle and triumph that often drives progress. The screen fades to black once more, then reveals a wide shot of a garden where various flowers bloom in harmony. Each flower represents a different culture, their petals intertwined yet distinct. The voiceover muses. History is not a straight line but a garden of forking paths. The garden symbolizes the myriad possibilities that could have been, each path leading to a different future. The beauty lies in the exploration of these paths, not in the certainty of any single outcome. The camera pans slowly across a map of the world, highlighting the interconnectedness of the empire's territories. The voiceover reflects. A single breath can change the fate of civilization. The map underscores the delicate balance of history, where small divergences can lead to vastly different outcomes. The interconnectedness of the empire's lands represents the potential for unity, yet it also raises questions about the trade-offs involved in achieving such unity. The final scene returns to Karakoram, New York, but this time, the camera lingers on the faces of its inhabitants. A Mongol engineer, a French philosopher, a Persian merchant, and a Venetian artist. Each individual represents a thread of the empire's rich. The voiceover concludes. In the end, the question remains, was unity worth the cost of lost identities? The city, a symbol of this empire's legacy, stands as a reminder of the complex choices that shape our world. The screen fades to black, leaving only the faint echo of the voiceover. What if the Mongol Empire had never collapsed? The question lingers, an invitation to ponder the countless possibilities that history could have taken. The final image is a single, glowing Mongol yurt, standing alone against a starry night sky, a beacon of a world that never was but could have been. The final shot is a close-up of the yurt's door, slightly ajar, revealing a faint light within. The voiceover, now a whisper, asks, which path would you have chosen? The door symbolizes the infinite possibilities that lie beyond the known, inviting the audience to reflect on the countless roads not taken in history. The scene ends with a sense of quiet contemplation, leaving the viewer to ponder the weight of divergent timelines. Hi everyone! Quick reminder, subscribe for high-quality daily content. Sparkle's Last Chance. Subscribe now before we launch our new series, Unlocked.